Hi, this is a Yesterday's Moose production, and today we're playing Sheep Raider for PlayStation 1. In this episode, we're going to be taking on Bonus Level 1. And the reason we're doing this level instead of, say, the 14th level is because when I first played this game, or at least when I first finished this game, this was the order in which I finished the game, if that makes any sense at all. Plus, it makes sense when breaking these up into episodes. First we'll have bonus level 1, then we'll have bonus level 2, and then the ending of the game. Now, fortunately, these bonus levels are relatively easy compared to some of the other levels. And the first thing we want to do is order an item in the mail, which is an elastic band. And what we want to do is we want to get to the other side, and there's also that hole over there. We want to get in that hole because that's where the time clock is located. So to make this easy, or at least easier, is we want to line up with the hole by using the first person perspective, then aim the camera as much behind us as we can, then fire this elastic, which is going to prove more difficult because the camera wants to change angles. And as you can see, we missed, so let's just go ahead and order an item in the mail. And I'll try that again. I could just get the item, but I want to get in there. This can be rather difficult. If the camera didn't change angle as much as it does, it would be a lot easier. Ah, there we go. Time clock achieved. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we can just climb up here. And we're going to go get that item. First, we want the elastic band back here. Now, what's interesting about this level is there's a lot of level. By that, I mean there's a lot of space, but you only really occupy a small portion of it. Like, for example, those, I'll call them platforms over there. We don't really ever use those platforms at all. But they do give the level some flavor, just like those platforms over there as well. I have an idea of why they are located where they are, and I'll talk about that when it becomes relevant. But first, we're going to go over here with this raft and make our way into Sam's area. We got the circle here, the eventual goal. And if we hide in here, Sam will eventually lose interest in us. And there is exactly one sheep. So what we want to do here is we want to grab these pieces of lettuce And there's a button here that operates that platform up there. So what we want to do is we want to get this sheep to step on the button, which is there. There's the button. But timing is key. So first we want to lure the sheep over with the lettuce. Fortunately, Sam is not too observant. And now that we have the sheep over here, we want to drop 2 pieces of lettuce, and that will give us enough time to go up here. And then the sheep steps on the button, and we're on the other side, so we want to use the rubber band yet again and bring the sheep closer to us. This does take some work. There we go. So now what we want to do is we want to drop the lettuce. I wish it wasn't bouncing around like this. Drop the lettuce and pick up the sheep. That didn't work out too well. Oh, so it did. It did work out. Haha. We've already got the sheep. One way of looking at it is we've pretty much already finished the level. We just have to get the sheep into the goal. So this level's kind of fun. First we just need to put this platform, or raft I should say, in position. That's about right. Okay, now we just go up here. Step on this button, and that leads the sheep to the other side. Very slowly the sheep will make its way towards that gate in the lower right hand corner there. Now this platform is not automatically centered where it needs to be. I keep calling it a platform. It's a raft. Raft, platform, same thing. So now that it's lined up, it's going to be easy to just step on the final button here and let it through. And fortunately there's an easy exit under the water there. And if I can get out of the water here. Okay, there we go. Now we just want to get the sheep on the other side, so we use the rubber band yet again. I think he might be close enough, we'll see. Nope. He has to be really close to the rubber band. Right about there. I will get this eventually. Ah, okay. Now the sheep is on the other side. The sheep almost went into that hole. I think that would have been problematic if the sheep had gone in there, because there's literally no way to get the sheep out. Which makes me wonder if you can get the sheep in there. I'm not going to try it because it would take so much time. And I want to point out that the bull is here. Right over there, there's also a bush that we could use for cover. However, we don't need to use the bush, and we can sneak past the bull. Here's an example of a lot of space here. Oh, and I almost forgot. I think the reason for those pieces of land on the waterfalls was just to have something to stop the raft from falling down a waterfall. That's my theory. So we want to just set this up. I think it's right about here. It might be one notch higher. Okay, maybe a little less power. It's kind of hard to tell. That should be okay right there. One more test shot ought to do it. Yep, okay, that looks good. So as you can see, this level is pretty easy. I suppose if we had gone to this level a lot earlier, it would have been, the difficulty would have been in line with the other levels at the time. Doing it this late in the game does make it relatively easy in comparison. But that's okay. And just like that, we're in the goal, the sheep's in the goal, and we're done. Now we're down to 2 sheep left.
And one more victory!
And that's it for this episode. We'll go ahead and end the video here. So thank you very much for watching. This has been a Yesterday's Moose production, and I'll see you next time.